Can you watch NWA Power?
Oh, wait. From what I've heard, NWA Power is now on the CW app. Say chance, did you know that the CW app is free?
What? Free? Does that mean that there's no excuse to not get it? I don't have to pay anything? There's no subscription? You just download it on your phone?
I think so.
What are you waiting for? Download it now. Watch NWA Power, and you're gonna realize that what time is it, Tommy Rand?
It's slime time!
Live! Kylie Page down onto the apron. Oh!
Get her out of there, Kylie.
Fix the ankle. Danny B to
Get
the
over there,
outside.
Kylie. Where's those belts at? This is for the belts, Georgie. This is for the championships, right? And Ella, she's a big game player.
Look, hit the ropes. Oh, almost a collision with the girls from Pretty Power. Oh, and face first into the apron. Ella, she's got picked up. Boom! King's kiss.
She's not doing it. She's not doing it.
New champs.
The winners of this match and new NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions, the King Bees!
There's no way! The King Bees have done it! They have made history here at Revolution Live as part of NWA Paranoia! And we'll see you next Tuesday right here on Power!
What is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horton. This is the NWA, the show celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, tradition of the greatest pro wrestling entity of all time. Of course, we're talking about the National Wrestling Alliance. And we're live. We're live on YouTube, on Twitter, on Rumble, on
Kyle, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say, Kyle. I know what you're going to say, Kyle. Gary, I think your mic's off.
Damn! Oh my God, no!
No, it's not.
Why?
Yeah.
No, it is. It is off.
Laptop or computer or something.
Usually sounds super good right now, and now you sound like you're in an echo chamber, baby.
Yeah, is what Kyle wants to say.
No. I would never say such a thing. Hey! What's going on? We got Paul on here at our NWA Official Wrestling magazine. It just came out. We got a new issue there, so we're going to talk some of that. We can't really talk much about over the weekend there. Those episodes are going to be able to be viewed by you, the audience that was not there in Dothan, Alabama, coming up on future episodes of NWA Power on the CW, CWTV.com, or download the app. No subscription required. The Slime Ball said that. It must be true. I can't believe I'm trusting somebody from Slime City, but hey, that's the world we live in, 2024. Who would say? Gary's figuring it all out right there. Hey!
I think so. I think I got it.
Yeah, sorry. That was my fault. I know we can't talk about this past weekend, but I did get a couple of pictures that we could show up.
It happened.
Our champs that you saw that won the titles this past weekend or
They
week.
will be defending the championships in Dothan, Alabama at Hard Times 2024.
I'm not convinced that Ella was a legal person at the time of that pinfall.
But look at that crowd. That was a beautiful crowd there in Dothan, Alabama. Those people were stoked to be there. We had a little meet and greet ahead of time that had all kinds of surprise appearances. Like Aaron Stevens.
You're out there. Were you rolling on that?
Yeah, I was rolling on that. I didn't get a chance to upload it before we did all this, but there was a cool pic I got of EC3 with a young man with his World's Heavyweight Championship.
Who will one day show up and destroy EC3.
The young man who was not eliminated from the
Yeah.
So by the time Southern Six
show up, EC3 will probably already be destroyed.
I love that Tom Latimer is trying to make himself as small as possible to not make Southern Six feel bad about how they look next to him.
Oh, that's well said.
That's not an insult.
Guys.
Hey, look at those guys.
Hey, all right.
You should have kept those chairs. Those look so comfortable.
They were nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, the cage up there. You see Knox and Murdoch facing off with the Southern Six.
Look at that.
We'll see that on upcoming episodes of NWA Power, but there's a good look at what that set looks like.
Cage looks dope, dude.
And that cage was very Barbie. Somebody might have got busted open in that match. Who would have say?
Yeah, there might have been some red all over that ring by the end.
The folks at the C-Dub will be like, you gotta go black and white.
I did think about that during it. I was like, yet again, we have a match that results in bloodshed.
We'll try to work it out.
I think between I think we've got a YouTube episode coming up that can be like uncensored. And it's going to have the waterboarding with Tom Latimer and Brian Idol. It's going to have the blood and Matt Cardona EC3. It can have if there's blood in the steel cage match. It can have that. It's
Magic Sag said blood equals money, so I agree with him. Especially if you're trying to make some money, go make a donate.
Eddie Mann said that red equals green.
Yep, that's right. You can get movie tickets sometimes for your blood donation. Other times they'll give you a few bucks or just a free T-shirt. But
and I used to sell my plasma just to pay the bills.
I never sold the plasma. I just donated it, so I did it wrong.
You're a sucker.
I am.
Yeah. We haven't focused enough on the wonderful guest that we have today that just started off the show with us, but the wonderful, amazing NWA Wrestling Magazine or NWA Official Wrestling Magazine, Paul E. Pratt, the editor-in-chief. It's good to have you, Paul.
It is always wonderful to be back here. It's always incredible to talk about the National Wrestling Alliance, especially all of the renovations and changes that we're making to the website and our opportunities to reach out and give our fans more of the content that they love.
I love that. And I love this chat. All of you people, you beautiful people, just hanging out in the chat. Thanks for being here. Thanks for following along with the NWA. And even some people international that are finding ways, who knows how, to watch the National Wrestling Alliance still on NWA Power. We got a lot to talk about. But Deals, I always like to give you at the top of the show a chance to talk about anything special going on in the shop.
You mean like this jacket or this shirt?
Woo!
Oh, my God. Look at those things. Those are beautiful. I saw that shirt in this picture right here. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Show the shirt. Show the shirt.
Yeah. Dothan loved that shirt, by the way. So you're going to have to get it now if you want to get it.
Dothan was all over that merch table. I saw that. Every time I went out there, it was like packed over there.
Yeah. And that new power variant. I know I sent you some other stuff. There's a really nice soft shell jacket that
is it Carson modeling that there? Yeah.
He loved that. He came before the merch stand was even open and wanted one. That's a pretty nice jacket. Joseph, I believe you have one.
I do have one. I'd be wearing
Carson and I also just a preview of this. We're not going to get it started this week, but we shot some segments for Carson Drake and so
his investment tips.
Yeah, his investment tips are going to be an ongoing segment here pretty soon on the
There's some
live
other
stream.
stuff.
How about that's not what I meant. Well, there you go. How about that?
Yeah, that's the program, but I have those autographed posters up. I just put them up.
Nice.
We left from the show. Everybody signed them. I had a very good helper go do it because I was not able to.
What about those hard times tees? I saw a lot of people wearing them in the crowd.
Yeah, I can put them up at a reduced price. I have about 3 mediums and then some 3X, some 4X, and some 5X. That's about all that's left. Everything else is
clearing out.
Yeah, they cleared it out.
Even on these hoodies, right? You're almost done with these hoodies.
The hoodies are gone. There's a handful of 3Xs left of the Super Size hoodie. But what the girls are showing here is those joggers. I still have a few left of those joggers.
Jogger.
Yeah, the joggers are pretty nice. There's a new Tiffany Nieves shirt. Oh, yeah, the lunchbox.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I should have been ready for the Tiffany, but I'm a big fan of the lunchbox. It excites me. So
lunchbox.
Man, where was that lunchbox when I was in school?
I don't know. Then you've
Probably
got
the fact that when I was in school, nobody on that lunchbox was born.
We've got a Michael Wolf shirt here on the left, and then we've got Tiffany Nieves on the right.
The Puerto Ricans representing. They also did that backstage in Dothan. Got a good shot of them here.
Well, the Nieves now, if you have the graphics that I sent you, Garrison, I don't know if you have.
Well, I was going to get to that. We're going there. Just be patient. All right. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I want to check. I got to double check.
Right now, I want to tell people about the deal you've got going on.
It's the almost spring cleaning.
Yeah, spring deals 24 for 25% off. NationalWrestlingAlliance.com/shop. You can go there right now. Right now.
Almost
25% off.
Spring cleaning.
Yeah.
Almost. It's almost.
Does that mean there's going to be
in Nashville? It's about 70, but almost. Which is funny because when I lived in Cleveland, 70 would have been summer, but I've been in Nashville for a long time, so that's now spring. But
all that cool stuff is right there. Spring
and that's
deals
all week.
24.
All week. And then speaking of Tiffany Nieves.
Yeah, well, what I was going to talk about deals as I'm working my way through it is no. I appreciate you and being anxious about this. I was going to talk about if you didn't get to go to Dothan, there's plenty of opportunities to see people from the National Wrestling Alliance. There's so much going on. In fact, next weekend, there's March 8th. You got NWA Chicago, the debut of that new territory.
Yeah, baby. Studio One, everyone's favorite venue. That place is dope.
NWA Chicago.
Kyle's absolute favorite.
Walls are so pretty.
It is.
They feel nice on your fingertips.
It's crazy. Make sure you rub those walls when you go to see that show.
Also, if you're in the mood for more territory stuff, Exodus Pro has an event the next weekend. Win in Rome. EC3 is going to be defending the world.
Is that an Exodus Pro show poster, or is that the cover of the next Smashing Pumpkins album?
I was going to say.
Either
way. That definitely got that vibe.
That's a cherub.
Yeah.
For cherub
and you can see Exodus Pro. All these tickets aren't on sale, but you can see they've already announced 4 shows total here coming up past this one. You got
they ain't screwing around.
June 22nd, July 20th. Exodus Pro running strong. What Deals was anxious to get to, and I don't blame him, is he's going to be at the Squared Circle Expo.
Whoa.
And Wyndham, Indianapolis West, March 29th.
Did you your neck again?
Yeah, they used an old photo.
Okay, that makes sense then. I don't understand how things work.
Perhaps more important than Deals being there, though, is La Princesa Tiffany Nieves is going to be there.
Well, she also messaged me after I gave her that graphic and said, "That's an old photo." I said, "Yeah, mine too. It's okay." But that's right.
It's a lovely photo.
We're going to be at the Square Circle Expo in Indianapolis. It's going to be awesome.
We got March covered. And if you were worried about April, well, don't, because we're going to be in Tampa Saturday, April 13th. You can get your tickets right now at NWALiveEvents.com.
Those gotta be going fast too, man. I'm gonna double check the ticket count right now just to make sure we're even selling it.
Yeah. So that's an old photo. That's
NWA Power tapings.
My red suit, which I told Cindy Minnie before we were at odds that I said, I won't wear it, Jim, because you wear that color. And he goes, Jim, my boy, I appreciate it, but I don't give a shit. Just wear it.
Over halfway full, ladies and gentlemen.
Nobody's gonna confuse us. I'm like, okay, you're right.
We can only fit so many people on that TV.
And tickets are on sale for our return to Dothan, Alabama in December. Those are already going fast.
Hey,
look out.
Looks That Kill coming in December. This is the furthest out we've had an announcement like this. It's pretty good, but that's how hot Dothan was.
Max looks like killing.
I've never noticed until now how much Natalia Markova looks like a Bratz doll.
Yeah, she got there's definitely a look there, brother.
I could see it. But yeah, this is going to be an awesome show.
Billy did not fire. He said, glad Billy did not fire you, Kyle. Yeah, Kyle won the live poll.
Yeah, I'm supposed to get a raise according to the audience there. Billy, as soon as they voted to not fire me and give me a raise, I noticed that Billy abandoned that conversation and moved right on.
He was hoping they were going to burn you at the stake.
Nope.
And they didn't. There's the problem you didn't realize is you've been talking to them all night. And they're like, oh, we kind of like this guy. Like, if it was the beginning of the show, they might have fired you. But you earned their love.
Yeah. Also, all I know is I didn't show up on stage at the peanut capital with a bunch of walnuts like he did.
Yeah, he was holding walnut. It was weird.
Yeah. I like
he came out with snacks. And I think rubbed them the wrong way. As soon as he came out on stage and I saw he had snacks, I go, you know what they said when we were in school? If you didn't bring enough for everybody, you don't get it for yourself. You got enough to share with the class.
That's why he wouldn't fire you immediately.
Took the microphone from me and immediately went off on me.
I like the crowd Dothan. I like the crowd.
That was a hot crowd, and thank them for hanging out a while. The show had a lot of action, a lot of matches, a lot of things going on. I'm happy that cage went up so quick.
Yeah,
so
they definitely like the CW app because they didn't announce me and Joe, but people yelled at me and Joe by our names every couple. You notice that, Joe, when we came out, they kept wanting to take selfies to go, Joe, deals. I'm like, oh, they must have the CW and watch. Because it wasn't like we came out to Pyro and they said who we were. We were just there.
We weren't up on the Tron.
No. They didn't even play your theme music, Joe.
No, that's okay. Yeah, they didn't play Vehicle by Ides of March.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that's stage.
Do you have a song that goes by? Do you like that? You actually are like, that's my jam. That's what I come out to.
Vehicle by Ides of March. Look.
I've never heard you come out to anything. Vehicle by Ides of March. This is interesting.
Axel, I think I just showed you the first official shot of that stage setup, like officially from like the NWA, since we're on the NWA YouTube account.
Sorry, guys. Well, Bub drank some water, decided to shake his flaps, and got all over the computer.
And we've got oh God, Joe, is this one of those songs from that day we were having the conversation about questionable 70s and 60s songs that are just like, no, I do remember this now.
It's statutory rape rock, which was definitely really
that was the way we wrote it during describe it.
Like,
describe
every song in that time period is all about trying to find a teenage girl and find them barefoot.
Yeah,
have fun with them and leave them on the side of the road. There's so many of those songs.
That's very true.
I do want to say,
we also have Crockett Cup we're going to be announcing soon too, so people hold on for that. NWA 76 is happening. Hold on for that. Couple other things are happening. Hold on for that. So
I love it. All of this stuff, though, by the way, if you want to get there, you just need to have this on hand at all times. NWALiveEvents.com. That's where you want to go. That's on the National Wrestling Alliance.com website. Same place you go if you want to use this beautiful Spring Deals code. Spring Deals 24 for 25% off in the shop. All that stuff about National Wrestling Alliance.com, the shop, and everything leads us perfectly into talking about the reason we brought Mr. Paul Pratt here. I'm going to put in the hot seat here because I want to talk about also on the website right now. If you haven't seen it, we're going to make sure it goes out on socials here lately. I scheduled it. It didn't happen. I don't know what happened. I got to figure that out. But that's after this. The brand new NWA official wrestling magazine is out. There's EC3 right on the cover. Paul, you've been hard at work as editor-in-chief, making sure this thing happens. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this is I'm very excited, first of all, because this is a dream come true for me to have that opportunity to represent the National Wrestling Alliance as the editor-in-chief of NWA Official Wrestling Magazine. And I always said that when we launched this it's been almost 2 years ago now, when we launched this, if we made it past 3 issues, it would be a greater success than I could have hoped for, because in the late 80s, which was the last time the National Wrestling Alliance had its own magazine, it only lasted 3 issues. So now we're at number 5, I think, which makes us like 40% more successful than the original.
The longest running magazine in National Wrestling Alliance history since the 80s. So
I love this. There's some great stuff in it too. Yeah, Paul. Like I saw you're modeling right now a Bulletproof Troop hoodie right there, and I saw that Bulletproof Troop has his own little section there, and I threw it in with the
right next to the fixture.
Well, it's not really right next to the fixtures, but those are 2 of the designs. One of the things that I love with this, really, for me, this is such a treat because I think that we have the most phenomenal talent to be found anywhere in the wrestling world, and getting to tell their stories and finding creative, interesting, unique, eye-catching ways to do that in a throwback magazine style that harkens us back to the 80s when the National Wrestling Alliance was absolutely at the pinnacle of the wrestling world, where everybody knew it, right on par with everyone else. This is something that to me is truly a dream. So, that Fixers article, it's a great look at the Fixers. We haven't seen the Fixers in quite some time. I wanted to find out what they were doing. So I went and sniffed around. Our team at NWA Official Wrestling was sniffing around, finding out what they're up to, getting some insight from some greats in the business like Mr. Bobby Fulton, Dr. Tom Pritchard, and others. Sonia wants to know if you will have EC3 centerfolds. We have not ever put a centerfold in our magazine.
Because it's digital. Do you fold? What do you fold?
That means that he would have to be half on one PDF page.
How's this going to work?
And then
Jay Giles isn't going to download it,
or your computer sideways to look at it.
Fixers are not history, my friend. Fixers were in Dothan, Alabama, so get ready. You're going to hear a lot more. You're going to hear a lot more from the Fixers coming up.
Fixers rule. Not only that, they crashed Billy Corgan's meet and greet too. On top of it, so
that is
so.
True.
Look, we found out. Meaning NWA Official Wrestling got some insight into what the Fixers have been up to, what the Fixers could be up to going forward, and there's a great article as well as a beautiful digital layout of that, which you just saw half of in the upcoming or in the issue that's available right now online at nationalwrestlingalliance.com. You can go check that out. But we also took a look at Samantha Starr and what's up with her changing of attitudes and where did that come from? We looked at Ruthie J.
I wish I'd have had that. I wish I'd have talked to you about the order. I messed it up.
It's all right.
Gary.
We touch base and recap the story. The incredible, here it is right in front of you. The incredible story of Black G's, one of our favorites. We're waiting for him to be able to make his big comeback, much ballyhooed and long-awaited return to the ring. I'm sure that we'll be seeing it very, very soon. So many setbacks. What a survivor. And this is his story, a recap of it in the publication. And there she is, Samantha Starr. As you can read, she was once NWA sweetheart. Now she's a star. So
I love that.
Check out
star, actually.
What's going on with her? What's up with this new attitude? Where is it coming from? What could be the root cause of it? And then I don't know what Gary has next up on here.
I'll show you what I got next. How about this?
You said that like it was a threat. I'll show you what I got next.
Yeah.
I got King Bees. I got Ruthie J.
Yep. The best part about this, for anybody who was actually kind of in the loop, that this magazine and that article about the King Bees becoming the new NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions dropped literally the day after this match aired. So
wow. I love that. That was perfect timing. Paul was all over that. That was pretty impressive.
I'm also not convinced that Ella was a legal person when she was pinned.
Can I just say how amazing that King, Deals, you should be looking at that King Bees logo that I created for them. The King Bees with the stingers. Hello, that's amazing.
You're welcome.
The stingers and the crown. Put that on a shirt.
Don't get hot.
Look how beautiful
actually,
that
it is a pretty sick logo. I like that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I do. I like it. It's actually the first time I saw it. I did preview the magazine, but I didn't stare at the logo as I am right now.
Dude, I mean,
I will say G's was in Dothan, and it was great to see him finally come back. So we'll be seeing him on an upcoming episode of NWA Power. So
we love it. We love that.
I didn't need to. Go ahead, Paul.
No, I just wanted to say that one of the things specifically that I do love, I have a certain eye for design and a certain eye for visual things, and getting to represent and come up with things like logos or these creative backdrops for people, and the way that we present them in a visual way, which reinforces who their characters are, what their stories are with NWA. Like, those are things like this Fixers between the creating that logo and the design of this, it was very exciting to me. This is something that I hope that our fans will take a look at. They're going to read this, they're going to see it online, and I hope it's something that resonates with them. As a child growing up, one of the things that I loved so much was the unique and creative ways that professional wrestlers were presented in the magazines of that era. And as much as things have changed and are still incredible today as a fan of professional wrestling, the changing in media, the way that media has changed and most everything is presented simply in terms of a website or something of that nature, it really diminishes the kind of larger than life persona that wrestling fans are accustomed to in their stars. And I think that we present them in ways that make them feel larger than life, that make them feel part of something greater, that greater story that they're able to tell in a visual way.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of it too is on to piggyback off that is just giving these stars that we've got so many great people in the National Wrestling Alliance. They don't always get a chance to be in the spotlight. That's my favorite part, is seeing stories about the Fixers or Bulletproof Troop or Ruthie J, Samantha Starr. Like, all these people get some spotlight on them to know a little bit more about them and to speculate on where they're headed in the National Wrestling Alliance. It's very cool to have that magazine do that, I think.
When I sit down to prepare for the upcoming issues, and by the way, this came out last week and I'm already at work on the issue that will come out in May. So, what I do is I look at the talent that we're seeing all the time on NWA Power each Tuesday on the CW. And of course, I want to showcase those individuals because those are obviously the direction of the television product. But anybody who is unaware of the depth of the NWA's roster needs only go over to nationalwrestlingalliance.com, go to the top, click on the roster, and you're going to see more faces, more names than we could possibly ever showcase in 1 hour a week in terms of programming. So my opportunity with this publication is to scroll down that list and say, who don't we get to see enough of? Who haven't we seen in a while? Power is taking care of making sure that people know about and have gotten insight into a number of our characters, a number of our tremendous workers. But there are several of them in this magazine alone that haven't had as much airtime simply because of the fact that we don't have more than 60 minutes a week to showcase people. So this gives us something where we can show those talents, make people remember that they're there, keep them excited for them. But also, I think equally importantly, when I was in my formative years, growing up, there were magazines coming to my house, which, by the way, I'm going to show this, like this one.
Woo! Look at that.
This was like this, and its sister publications were dropping in my mailbox every month. And to me, if I saw a talent inside this magazine, it made them larger than life to me. And I think that for so many talents who grew up of a certain generation, finding your name in Pro Wrestling Illustrated was the epitome of what it meant to be successful in many ways in the world of professional wrestling, to be acknowledged by the industry leading publications. And unfortunately, in this day and age and generation, the only magazine in print that covers professional wrestling is this one, at least in the United States. So that means that they too have a limited opportunity to showcase our skilled, talented stars. And for a lot of people, this is as close as it's going to probably get to for them. The National Wrestling Alliance's NWA Official Wrestling Magazine is going to showcase and spotlight them in ways that I think will solidify their feeling of being a true star in the National Wrestling Alliance, the longest existing and continuously promoting professional wrestling organization in the United States.
Now, Paul, let me.
I love that, Paul, and I. Oh, sorry, Joe.
I have an interesting question because you bring this up that there's only one printed magazine in the United States really right now, but if you take a look at other forms of media, you know, there's so many people who are buying vinyl records now, and you know,
Mhm.
you look at a lot of this other stuff. Do you think that there could be a resurgence for people who want to see, whether it's wrestling or not, you know, based on your expertise in, you know, in that world? Is there an opportunity where we could kind of come back and see that come more in vogue when people want to physically have something in their hand?
I absolutely think so. And I think that what you're looking at in terms of comparing it to vinyl records and even cassette tapes making comebacks, plus DVDs and you know, things of that nature are making a comeback. It is because for a very long time, I think many of us who were collectors of things, you know, people become collectors. I collected wrestling magazines. I have a collection of wrestling figures behind me. And for a long time, the move was, well, these take up physical space, whereas it's much more convenient to be able to download something and I can have it on my phone or I can have it on my computer. Or, you know, if you're really old, well, maybe not even really old, but if you're older right now, you can remember, I want it on my iPod, you know, so I can just take it while I'm jogging. But there's something to be said with having something tangible that you can physically touch. I heard somebody opine recently that you don't hear the word opine very often.
No, I like that.
You see it in print, but not said. I heard somebody opine recently that in this generation, you never actually own anything anymore. You only rent it. And what that means is that you buy a subscription to something, and as long as you're paying for it, you can have access to it. But back in the day, you could actually own a record. You could actually own a magazine. You could actually own something. And yes, it took up physical space in your home, but it was yours. And when you went to a different place, you still had it. So I think that there is a nostalgia factor for that. But I also think that there's something incredibly unique and special for people about like seeing your picture, you know, in here. You know, one of our National Wrestling Alliance stars, Pollo Delmar, has a column in this publication. And it looks like this. I'm going to show it to you. This is what the column looks like. And in this column, it talks about paranoia. And there is something to be said for being able to see print proof of things that you've done in a way that doesn't matter. Like, you know, think about this, y'all. You know, Joe asked about the resurgence of print media. Can you imagine that there are generations of children already alive who've potentially never seen a printed photograph of themselves?
Wow. I've never thought about that. Unless they have like a Polaroid camera, they've never had a printed picture.
They've literally, there's generations of children
weird.
Who, if the internet went down, would have no proof, tangible proof of what they looked like as a child or anything, because all of their entire existence digitally exists in here or out there, versus all of us kids who had like those terrible photos of us with a bad haircut that were printed and sent out to our friends.
They're the best.
Photomat. No, people do, pictures
crazy.
of themselves. There was a lot of the younger talents when I made the last program who saw themselves in it and were. And I said, "You can have one." Yeah.
Super strange. Like I was thinking about how, like, you know, one of the things, the mystique of wrestling, I think, is, you know, some of it's gone away. But I remember just thumbing through magazines back when I was like growing up in South Georgia, and I couldn't see, you know, anything but WWE pretty much back then. And so like guys like Ric Flair and like what was going on with Jerry the King Lawler and
how
like
did you not get that in Georgia?
It was weird in South Georgia for some reason. Every once in a while,
it's called cable.
Yeah, look, I lived. No, you don't know.
Yeah, cable's not that old. I mean, cable.
So cable was not where I was. It was by antenna.
No, I understand.
Or a satellite dish.
Yeah, I get it. We got cable pretty early in Cleveland. We were fortunate.
I think that there's a significant number of people out there who are familiar enough with me and look to me as something of a bit of a historian, specifically when it comes to the National Wrestling Alliance. And the way that I accumulated the wealth of knowledge that I have that's sort of just filtering around in my brain somewhere waiting for a purpose and a reason to reappear, is because as a kid, going back to this magazine, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, as a child from fifth grade through graduation and into college, I always had a subscription to Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the Inside Wrestling, and The Wrestler. Those were the publications of the all Apter. And I had a subscription to all of them. And when I would get them, I was such a fan of wrestling. Now, remember, folks, I'm older than I look, thank God. Meaning, thank God I don't look my age. But I'm older than I look, and we didn't have the internet. So it wasn't like I could go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole. This would show up in my mail, and I would read it cover to cover and almost memorize it. And because of the fact that I was obsessed with all wrestling, which I continue to be obsessed with all wrestling, I would memorize the names, the random title changes that would happen in promotions that were nowhere near me. I would look for people, and I would wait for them to maybe make their debut in a larger company where I could actually get to see them work. And that was something that really fed me as a fan of professional wrestling. Now we see a little bit, we have so much access to wrestling everywhere, from no matter what promotion it might be. It's going to either appear on my timeline, on Twitter, X, or it'll be somewhere on the internet. But back in the day, we just had this. And that was my Bible. That was my Wikipedia.
Yeah, I used to grab those at Medic and Revco. You remember those places, Paul?
Mm-hmm. I would go to the grocery store. That's where I would pick those up.
That's where I got interested in Gino Hernandez. So when I was finally able to see World Class, I was excited to see him on the screen and not just in a picture. But even Eddie Gilbert, because we never got Memphis in Northeast Ohio, but you would just see pictures of him covered in blood, beating somebody else's ass covered in blood. And you'd be like, man, that's a bad son of a bitch. But, never got to see him on television.
I remember if you wanted to have stats, you had to get something like the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Almanac every year in order to know how tall somebody was or anything like that. Which, fun fact, if I remember right in here, Kyle Durden right there.
There he is.
According to this, I was 5'11".
Wow.
So
Let's talk about I gotta know
pro wrestling.
That's right.
I know something's happening in the green room right now of this live stream, and it's somebody who's not featured in the magazine, so maybe they have something to say about it. I don't know.
I think I know who it is.
Let's bring them on.
What?
It is
Jake
Dumas is here.
Living in the darkness, baby.
Had to stop and say hi. I just wanted to jump on, especially when we're talking about the magazine. When the hell is that damn Magic issue going to come out, huh? When's that happening, Paul?
Featuring CJ. If you put CJ in it, we can move.
Put CJ in it. I'm about it.
So I want to tell you, Jake, there was an 8-page spread about you in this issue.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it for a second. I said, and it was gone.
Yeah. Nothing like magic jokes. I love it.
It was magic. Holy crap.
It just disappeared. My whole career just disappeared.
Just like you disappeared CJ. Where is CJ?
Yeah. CJ, dog.
Oh, don't worry about CJ.
She's in the trunk. She's in the trunk of the car. Great.
He had Rush Freeman kill CJ. That son of a
probably.
Good Lord. When Rush left the country, she was in the luggage. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Look,
yeah, she appeared in the wrong luggage. We got our bags mixed up at the airport.
And Magic Inc. have not been fully featured yet in the publication, but you've had some nice photo features in the past, and you've been included in some sub features, and that's one of the things. Again,
sub features. All right.
What that means?
I'm a dom, not a sub.
What?
There it is.
Hey, you know what? Actually, it's fortuitous that Magic Jake is showing up here, because one clip I did get from last week might be perfect for the magazine. Let's watch that real quick.
Padding. Magic Jake falls to the apron. And he came down hard. Oh, now he's all the way to the floor. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. On the floor, right here. Misery. What's he doing? He's thinking of something crazy, I'm sure. Yeah, what the hell? Oh, he's up on the bar. Hey. He's on the tables. Get down from there. He's in the crowd here at Revolution Live. The Wheeler should be counting him out right now. He's been out of the ring for... Oh, my God.
Wow, and that got a "This is awesome" chant. So
Yeah, of course it did, Gary. It had me in it.
yeah,
Is that why I did it?
Mhm. There's no possible other reason.
Old
Don't
Jumper
get any
King was
ideas.
small over here.
So maybe an Alex Misery Magic Jake feature in the
Alexander Miserable.
in the magazine.
Yeah.
Jake has slimmed down so much that I can barely see him now.
We can
Yeah.
barely see him anyway.
Exactly.
It's for the best.
Or something? What are you
So,
doing?
Barry, I dropped a link into the private chat here, which shows a feature. Now, this is a feature from it'll be a year ago, but this one does include Jake in
Wow.
Whoa.
Paul's got receipts.
Drop that
Ready to
quick.
go.
Yeah,
Who makes it to the top of the mountain first? Wow.
it. Yep. Who makes it to the top of the
Magic
mountain
is
first
back.
in the May 2023 issue
This is the-
of NWA online or official wrestling online? So, of course, y'all.
Wow.
But I'm
Hold
just
on.
telling you, if you go to the
Oh, no,
NWA,
no.
you click on magazine at the top, and then you scroll down and you click on the May 2023 issue. Jake is one of the
Whoa.
featured people in that.
Yes.
There he is, right there with the lovely CJ. But
Wow,
yep,
that's
second
amazing.
person
Now,
picture
let's
right
remember
here.
we actually
This
have-
is the most glam shot photo of Max the Impaler I've ever seen, by the way. That is just black steel right there.
Yeah,
man. I love that picture of Max.
There too, huh? How about that?
I just think it's great that I have risen to the top so much that I can actually stand next to Rush Freeman and Brady Pierce.
Oh,
Oh my God!
Was number one.
let's not talk about.
I think Brady lost to Loser Leaves territory, didn't
He did.
Yeah.
He absolutely did.
Oh, Matthew
And yet the
wants,
winner of that,
Magic
never
Jake
mind.
and Zicky
Moving on.
Dice. You guys both, yeah, Magic Jake and Zicky Dice. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Who you think taught that brother the card throwing gimmick?
Oh.
The internet.
Jake, didn't you recently win? Aren't you?
Number one contender.
Yeah, that's what I was
You're
going to say. Aren't
goddamn
you
right.
number one
Number
contender?
one.
Damn right.
Go fight Max. Go fight everyone in the chat. Go
Easy.
fight
Go
Max.
fight
Easy.
Max. Go
Easy.
fight Max.
Easy.
Jake, bless your heart having to face Max the Impaler.
Oh my God. Max the Impaler and the Devil. Whatever.
Yeah.
Look,
You're kind of looking like Lucifer right now. It's all dark and
Well,
I just
had
wanted to at least light a lighter or something so that we can see you by
get a candle.
to go to the electronic gimmick. Nobody lets you smoke cigarettes anywhere anymore.
What about a candle?
That shit's gonna
I
melt in
don't
his
know if
car
this
at
is-
some point in time. Come on.
Jake, I need a moment with Jake to. I don't know if this is
Dude, at
appropriate
least,
for the live stream, but did you get to the hotel okay, buddy?
Oh my God.
Obviously.
Gary,
What happened? He was gonna walk.
I come into this chat all the time. You say you love me, but you don't love me enough to pick me up at 11:45 in downtown Dothan.
Yeah, he was gonna walk.
I didn't have a car, man.
Ari,
I got a text from Jake that said,
anywhere.
It said, Gary, do you have a car? I said no, and he's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, but Ari, which is Gary without a G, he went and got him. How's that grab you?
Man,
Hey,
I
but
love
nice.
Ari. Ari's
I
great.
got you.
Let's. I'm not on some real shit. Let's shout out Ari because I love that dude.
Ari
Live-
does deserve it. Ari
is
Dalton.
amazing, man.
Also,
This
Dothan,
is-
Alabama. One of your shortcomings that we need you to work on before December is even though you have Uber drivers, there's apparently only 2 of them that live there.
And they
So
don't
we need
work
a-
on Saturdays.
How do you do it, Joe? I don't know how these things accidentally happen all the time.
It's just I'm so fun.
What title are you going for in the future? He's going for the TV title
I'm
if
going
he
for the goddamn
gets up.
TV title at some point. Shit.
When he feels like it. When he finally gets out of this dark space that he's created, right?
Well, I believe you can hang on to that for a little bit, right, Joe?
Yeah,
Isn't that the
as long
rule?
as
I
you
mean, you're
want.
kind of the
As long as he wants.
yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome to
not
the-
much light in that squad car, says Cosmic Joe.
Well, I drove it about 3 miles down. I'm hiding in a hospital right now, so I'm hoping they don't come down this alleyway.
Yeah, he's hiding in a hospital right now in anticipation of his match against Max.
What are those magic words there, Paul? What's going on?
Yeah, that's why I'm the editor of the written word.
Ta-da.
But hey, like I said, real shit. Paul, that magazine is one of the greatest publications about wrestling in the industry today. And I do not think it goes appreciated enough about how sick it is that the NWA has in its history books. We have a very successful online magazine. So congratulations to you.
And Magic Jake keeps a copy under his mattress.
I do.
Magically.
It blows me away every time I see it. That like it's the magazines I remember.
The layout, everything. It really, I don't know how you do it because I could barely put things together when I have to play with
You're not
Photoshop.
getting this is not nearly
today from Kyle. It was not good.
He told me to just make a quick draft. All right.
Well, you should have spent a little more time on it.
He said, I don't care if it's a crappy mock-up.
Oh, and you went extra.
I mean, we've had a lot to do today.
When
well, everybody's here. Oh, go ahead, Paul. You wanted to say what?
I just wanted to say, when this is the type of person I am. Like, when William Patrick Corgan and I were going to talk about changes to the website, I didn't just even make a mock-up. I literally made an exact replica of what I knew was possible to present to him because I did not ever want him to be like, you told me it would be like this and you didn't live up to it. So I presented exactly what it would look like. When I talked to him about this magazine 2+ years ago now, I made a full magazine, because to me, that's the only way to do it. Like, this is exactly what you're going to get. And that magazine did not get approved. So there's actually a copy of this magazine that never saw the light of day, just sort of floating around.
Collector's edition.
And then
correct me if I'm wrong.
Circle back in it, and obviously now it's a thing.
Hey, light.
Correct me if I know, just magic. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I have seen this issue that you pitched the first time.
I think I have too, actually.
I know Deals, Gary, Jake, maybe Joe and Kyle even, but I know that Jake, Gary, and Deals all saw it.
Was Magic on the
Kyle,
cover
you make
and
so
that's why
much
I got
noise.
denied? Is that what
Shut
happened?
Shut up. I'm trying to light a candle because I'm hoping that if I light a candle, it magically will light Magic Jake up from afar.
Ooh, maybe I'll give a candle emoji, like when I do my thumbs up and I get the fireworks occasionally.
Smells really good, by the way.
Bro, what was your question?
Hey!
Oh my God!
Ta-da!
How is that? How is that even
I
possible?
got it again.
We never fully figured it out. It just happens sometimes.
Oh, I thought we were talking about him lighting his face off with this.
Paul,
now it's gone.
get some
I was sure.
Oh, look, I got another little thing.
Do a thumbs up, Paul.
Yeah, do. Yeah.
It didn't do it.
Didn't
It's
work.
not doing it.
No, Kyle.
I'm
Kyle's
on
got
a
little
laptop,
thumbs.
so it won't
Kyle's
do
got
it.
little thumbs.
Let there be light.
Speaking of magic, Leprechaun Back to the Hood is on my TV right now.
Listen, I'm so secure about myself. You could say I got little thumbs, Joe. It doesn't matter because nobody's
Let's get
complaining.
back on the rails. This Tuesday, an all-new NWA Power drops on the CW.
Let's talk about it.
That fucking
Yeah,
title.
CWTV.com. You can get that app on pretty much anything. United States, you can see this everywhere. Like just
It's on it. It's on the show.
all streamers. I'm working on it. Why are you so anxious?
Why are you getting so hot?
Kobe Carino
Carino.
is defending the junior heavyweight championship against Yabo the Clown. This is going to be interesting.
Dude, I heard to actually make weight for that junior heavyweight title match, Yabo had to change his shoes.
Whoa.
I believe it. I believe it.
Big deal.
And maybe
That
just
makes
as high.
sense.
His shoes alone were 25 pounds, I heard.
Yeah, makes sense.
We're going to hear from EC3 and we're going to hear from the Southern Six. This is going to be
WPF.
interesting. Yeah, this is going to be good. It's been a minute. We haven't heard from the champ since the Ultimate Match of Death, so that's going to be exciting. Throwbilly Silas Mason, our national champion.
Can I just say this while we're on that Ultimate Match of Death? People did not realize that Ultimate Match of Death legitimately was so hardcore EC3 missed a couple of shows because he could not fly because his head would not stop bleeding. That is a true effing story.
I got a text at like 2:30 in the morning from Sal Renaro, of all people, who went, "Hey, do you have like a medic kit? Because EC3 is just bleeding all over the lobby still."
I mean, I know for a fact that EC3
And I said, "I'm sleeping."
I know for a fact
towel, bitch.
was supposed to come to California and defend the NWA World's Heavyweight title against a top contender from Supreme Pro Wrestling in Sacramento, and could not do it because his head would not stop bleeding for him to fly.
That is amazing. So, yeah, that's exciting. We're going to hear from EC3 for the first time since that huge matchup with Matt Cardona, where he retained the World's Heavyweight Championship. So it'll be exciting to see what he has to say. And always the Southern Six, they're entertaining. So it's fun to hear. I know that's hits a sore point. Well, not Polio's.
No, I don't have any problem. I can't believe he was able to snag a hot chick like that Pollo Del Mar, though.
I know, right?
Right.
All I know is Alex Taylor's far in the background because otherwise Thrill Billy would not look like the biggest man who's ever lived next to Alex Taylor.
Right. Alex Taylor's
That's
probably
right.
Really outkicked his coverage there.
He's jacked, bro.
All right, what about this? Non-title, but there is a tag team match. Blunt Force Trauma are going to take on the Miserably Faithful with Father James Mitchell, of course. Aaron Stevens will be in the corner of BFT. That's going to be interesting. Sal's come up a good bit here, but God bless him. This seems like not the place to be. But
Man, I do feel for the Gimper and Salvation because I would not want to
Give it up for the Gimper.
and then also, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he better be ready and able to absorb some punishment.
What about willing? Does he have to be willing?
No,
I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, he's usually and then the rematch. We're going to see an NWA World Television Championship on the line as Max defends against Mims.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. This
Wow.
is going to be interesting.
Taking your spot.
He's busy as hell this episode. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Sinister Minister.
Streams out of my eyes. God.
Thank God he's got things to keep him with his energy up there, because otherwise he'd be waiting during this.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Oh
Speaking of the undead, I had I drove with somebody this weekend, and I had a hot take that they disagreed with me, and I just need to know because everybody here knows wrestling. Am I wrong in liking for my favorite version of a dead man character when he was an evil biker?
The worst character.
Not when he was like a babyface, rah rah rah, long hair, but like buzz cut, big evil. I was told. AJ Francis tweeted today that he didn't want to name names because he didn't want to embarrass them, but he heard the hottest take ever. That was the worst take, which was that, and it was me. And I just want to know, am I wrong?
Yeah, Big Evil wasn't the best version.
No.
It worked for the time frame.
I said my favorite.
The motorcycle version.
My favorite. Doesn't make him the best. It just means I don't like Magic Jake. I don't like people that like throw lightning from their fingertips and come back from the dead.
Well, the unfortunate
Wait, am I following along?
If didn't exist, the Undertaker would have no mystique.
Yeah, and that Undertaker drew the most money.
That's true.
I'm not saying that's like saying my favorite era of Hogan was at the height of racism because he drew the most money. Guys, I'm just saying.
The edibles kicking in.
Listen,
I don't have one in me.
No, look, I get it. You're allowed to like what you like. It's okay. I love the Ultimate Warrior. I will always love the character of the Ultimate Warrior. I will always appreciate. I don't know. I always when I was growing up, he was amazing to me. And I can't shake it. And nothing about, anyway, I don't want to go further into that.
Okay, no, I could do an NWA hot take on this as well. Ric Flair, when he had the short hair.
No.
I didn't hate it.
Would you stop?
I didn't hate it.
What is wrong with you? Okay,
I didn't hate it.
I'm done with you. I'm trying to back you up here, and you keep burying yourself.
That would have been better if they called him Spartacus like they wanted to.
I still didn't hate it. I did not hate the look.
No. Like,
I never really liked people with long hair. I realize that's the problem.
Why would
You're
anyone
such
not
a
like
heel.
throwing lightning?
Yes, I don't have a soul. You're right. I don't have a soul.
No,
You're
he
absolutely
doesn't.
correct.
I will say that in Kyle's defense, the big evil version, it worked for that time.
Yeah.
What they were doing, it
Axel's
wouldn't have-
with you. Yeah.
you needed for it to come back and be retro cool with the evil wizard stuff.
I see it, and I'm like,
The big evil worked at that time.
It was just so expensive to have the motorcycle at every single one of them.
I don't like the motorcycle. I just liked him just being angry and choking people out and choke slamming. I just like evil.
Because the motorcycle entrance.
I don't even care about motorcycles.
Toby dropped this comment as in
Brian
character.
Harry said
Let me
he
tell you something,
changed his
brother.
vote.
Jack, dude, Kyle, don't you be dogging on the Hulkster, man.
Royded Cap says short hair Flair looked great. I just like the way he looked with the short hair. That's all.
That didn't bother me, the short hair Flair. That didn't bother me.
I
Liked him as Mean Mark and used the heart punch. I agree with that too.
Yeah, but nobody threw a better heart punch than Ox Baker, right, Paul?
Yeah.
Killed the guy.
Well, Ox Baker is the one who made that heart punch.
Yeah,
famous.
he killed the guy. An accident, but he killed him.
Oops.
Hey, it
I mean, talk about really living
that
the
guy
gimmick.
didn't come back from the
dying
dead.
it.
I'll tell you what, Ox Baker on television when I was a kid, he was scary as a son of a bitch. And he had no lightning.
It was the eyebrows. It was the eyebrows.
No, it was that crazy ass beard. I also thought he was originally saying hard punch. And I remember being like 8 going, hard punch.
That's going to be a very hard punch he's going to throw. Yes.
He kept saying, I got this hard punch. Like, all right.
As
Everybody's
opposed
got
to
a
my
hard punch.
normal soft punch that most
Bob
of these
Roop's got a
guys
hard
get.
punch while you're bullshitting.
All right. Well, we've run through the card for NWA Power. I don't know what else is left to do except for. Oh wait, a moment of Sal.
Oh no.
LaShawn. La vida no se trata en encartarte a ti mismo. Se trata de crearte a ti mismo. ¿Mis amigos? Inez.
There you go.
Okay.
That is.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Well, Sal has definitely entered his Jim Jones in Guyana phase. He's there. Somebody surfboarded up to meet him at that locale. Obviously, maybe it was Inez.
Maybe it was. Or Lashad. He was looking for Lashad, it seemed like. So
The
let me find
Marshawn,
this,
the
that
one
I-
who made the cube? No.
I think that Sal's up to Sal is up to something Zodiac-like, and I don't know what it is.
Get him out of here. Zodiac, like Bruce the Barber Beefcake Zodiac, or like you shoot Zodiac?
Yeah, Brutus the Barber Beefcake Zodiac.
Who was the Zodiac?
Sal's next look is going to be with a mohawk, and I can't wait for it. It's like a super huge mohawk.
Yeah, just start back here.
Exactly. It'll start on the nape of his neck and go down to his tailbone.
What is Joe doing, Destiny? What is happening that Joe is
I keep
stealing?
like
the
having fireworks and stuff over here. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Joe's the only
I'm just
I see him going.
and then it happens, but now it won't happen because you're watching. It's like trying to pee at a urinal or something, or like trough at a Dodger game. Like as soon as you start looking, it's weird.
Joe, you just have to have somebody to blow on it gently to get it started. Just have somebody blow on it gently.
It worked. You're right, Kyle. It worked.
I was talking about the urinal, but that's okay.
Fireworks too, baby.
Oh my God! Hey everybody!
I may need to cover this show in the upcoming issue of the magazine and talk about all the inappropriate quotes.
That happened on the live stream. I know it's terrible. NWA.
I am so tired. I do
Magazine.
feel like I'm imbibed. You're right.
You got to get it. It's right now on the website. Go there. Check it out. The magazine is there. You want to see it. You also want to get some of this cool stuff that's in the shop. NationalWrestlingAlliance.com. springdeals.com/shop. And right now, if you use the code SPRINGDEALS24, you get 25% off. You can't beat that. 25% off. Oh my God. That's great. Anyway, all right. And I lost there we go.
Well,
I can take it off the screen now.
And
that's all.
I want to give a shout out quickly to one of our regular live stream attendees, James Bell, actually became the first ever paid advertiser in the NWA magazine for Echo.
Yeah.
So
what?
Wow. Go check out the publication, download it. We're still talking about, we were saying how important it is to have to print magazines. It's possible that Deals and I, maybe for 76, could get
We've talked about it,
magazine printed out as like an anthology series. You know what I mean? Like all of the different issues up to that point.
Let's just plan to do that. How about
Can
that?
we get a link? Right there you go. Perfect.
The easiest way to go, right, exactly. NationalWrestlingAlliance.com/magazine. And you'll be able to find all the issues there. The most recent one is the February 2024 issue. It came out the last week of February. The next one will be coming out in May. I'm still up in the air. I keep talking in the royal we are still up in the air about what it's going to be about. But we'll do that. Check out the current issue, which if you didn't read what's on the cover, you saw EC3. It is his 6th month half-year review as NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. We look back on every match, take an in-depth dive into every match that he's had defending the NWA World's Heavyweight title over the last 6 months, and then give him an overall ranking for this first 6 months as champion, as well as some suggestions on how he could notch it up at a level even.
Ooh, I love that. That is the kind of detail real wrestling fans need. So yeah, definitely go check it out. NationalWrestlingAlliance.com/magazine. That's where you want to go for that. Spring Deals 24 in the shop, 25% off. You can't beat that. Go get some merch. Go do some stuff. What is it? Oh yeah, and Noni is right. Before they wrap up, everyone hit the like button. Do that. Go ahead and hit like.
You can't see it, but Jake is hitting it right now.
Yes,
he is
Yes,
doing.
while still
You
holding
can't
the
see
phone.
what Jake is doing, which
in
is
the darkness.
He's
yeah.
putting up thumbs
That's the
and
point.
fireworks everywhere, but
Jake is just on screen, like just silently. He's lurking, and
I'm
that is
watching.
truly how Magic Jake is. I think with all things National Wrestling Alliance, he's always just lurking there. You're never sure what he's doing. You're never sure what he's capable of.
I believe he's vaping now. I'm pretty sure he's vaping.
He's lurking.
Way to kill it. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here. Paul, anything else you want to say before we wrap this thing up? Jake, nobody can see you're there.
I want to remind people that not only can you go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com/magazine and read all the content online, it's a completely free download where you can actually download the PDF version to your own laptop or your own device, so you can read it online, click around. We made it that way so you could share your favorite stories on your social media, or you can download it and screen cap the images and share those to your social media too. Be sure to tag all your favorite NWA stars in those features. That way they can share it, show them some love, show the magazine some love, those click-throughs. And if you have not already, I would encourage you to go check out the roster page on the website, which looks incredible. And if you go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com and scroll down, you're going to see all of the unbelievable news and media coverage that the NWA is receiving too. Don't buy into the discussion or the idea that, the media is hating on the NWA. That is not true. We have obvious and ample proof that we are very well loved by media, ranging from the BBC British Broadcasting Corporation, before Kyle Davis says anything, to local news companies, radio stations, all of the wrestling websites. It's right there for you to see in black and white and in living color at nationalwrestlingalliance.com.
Yeah, I love this. It's so great to have the magazine back in full force. This is great. All right, anything else from anybody?
Oh yeah, I'll be on TikTok Live later tonight if anybody wants to a variation of me will be on TikTok Live later tonight. You can just look
Paul
up
will be in the chat for Pollo Del Mar's live TikTok tonight.
So yeah, I talk a lot about NWA there. Kyle Davis, I want to tell you, on my TikTok, there is a fan who's obsessed with Kyle Davis.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
All right.
We have last time I did a TikTok Live, I had 11,000 people come through and watch. And one
person liked me. 11,000. You know what? You know what they say? That 1 in 11,000. Do you know apparently your odds of finding a 4-leaf clover is 1 in 10,000, which means I am luckier than a 4-leaf clover.
You know what else they say?
The hood's on my TV.
And I'm Scottish, so I guess that counts too.
They also say, we love you guys. Thanks for being here on the live stream. Please enjoy your gravy cakes, everybody.